Welcome back. In this video, we'll be doing a small tour, not a tour, but a demonstration of the last build I did in this world. I finished it today, so it's pretty fresh. So I'm still at that time where you can't stop looking at what you built. You know, when you build something and you like the end result so much, you you just keep looking at every detail and thinking about it, and this building has been like that. I In this video I really want to bring my thought process on how I built this and how it came to life. The first thing I will say is the importance of using reference. I believe that using reference in a build can get you off the square one, you know, the first floor. You can really be free to plan better and faster if you search for things that look similar to what you want to build. And with this shop, it was exactly like that. I saw an image from I searched for like small shop in Minecraft in Google Images, and I got this image right here that I'm showing on the screen, and that was the first actually step, was to try to make it look like that, use that as a basis for my build. And from that moment on, the detailing started, and it's really amazing how in this game the builds, they start really basic and really flat, but with every single step and every single moment of that build, you will increase its value and you will bring more life to everything. So the second thing I want to talk about after references is how I think you should use the creative mode. I never used creative mode. I always built things on survival, but this was the first build I planned on creative. And that changed a lot for me because it I think there's two things in the favor of planning things on creative. The first thing is that you save time. It may not seem so because you have to build everything twice, but you save time because planning things and having to break them if you don't like them, and having to bring out the blocks and separate out the blocks and really organize yourself to plan something on survival, it just takes too long. It takes so long, and it's and if you miss something and you build something that you don't like, then you have to break it. On a super flat world, you can just walk and build something from scratch. And the other thing is the unlimited blocks you have, because on creative you can really look at all the blocks in the game. The front of the shop being pink, it's actually something that came because of creative. Something An idea that I had because I was playing on creative, and I started looking at the banners because I wanted orange banners to do the front of the shop. And when I saw pink banners, I thought about that because I wanted to do a flower in the front of the shop, like the B-Dub's flower on his greenhouse. And when I did the flower, I transitioned to the pink banners and the pink wood, and this was a moment where it's so fun when you're trying to build something and you have that one idea that you know is going to change and give so much more personality to what you're building. Because if you look this build from like sideways, it's orange and brown and yellow, but here it's pink. So yeah, use creative. You have so much more ideas if you can look out the builds. On survival, you're really limited to what you have. You can think outside the box, but you're gonna look at your chest and you're gonna be limited to what you're seeing here. And the favorite thing I did in this build is not actually the exterior, is the interior. In my other episodes, I was talking about how I really like building interiors, like this flower shop here, this plant I almost ran into a cactus. But this plant shelves here and all this stuff, this detailing. So the interior of this building is the part that made me most proud of. I really like the exterior and the colors and the details, but the interior of the store, the shop, I think is one of my favorite things that I built, you know. Like I really went with the philosophy of not living many things, many like much not living that much space between things, you know. Using like if you have less than a block you can walk here. So and it's not like I'm going to be walking to the back of the store every time that I come here. So I love this feeling of like organized mess. I think a great way of doing interiors is where you have a pattern, like you have straight lines, but you also have you break that straight line with different blocks, and that makes like it gives an impression of life. Because if you go to a shop in real life, you will see things like that. You will see this organized mess, you know. And I really like how it turns out, you know. I have the like a honey tank here, anything that resembles like a honey tank. The trip wire with the honey blocks, it works so well. Like it really looks like a barrel. I wanted to give the impression of like people are collecting honey from this, and I think is you can do such a nice brewery with this. You put like a lot of barrels and a lot of these taps with tripwire hooks, and like I'm really excited about this building. Like I said, I cannot stop looking at it. And the bees, this is one thing that unfortunately the honey comes from outside here. They stole all the bees from inside the store, but it's kind of good because the FPS was getting a little low every time I entered the build. But yeah, here I put this side was not as interesting as the front side. I made this build to be like part of the shop, the part of the fair that I talked about in my first video. But so back here I have a little I don't know how I would call this. I think honey harvester, just a place where people can study the bees and study the flowers. And of course all of this is just an illustration of what is happening here. There's not much you can do in Minecraft to really sell a study study place or a study workshop or anything like that. So here I have the honeycombs, and I really like the bamboo trapdoor. The all the trapdoors you can see through are really good to decorate. So I put some things here just to fill the space out. This wall was pretty void, was pretty bland. Uh, but yeah, I think this build I am really proud of it. Like I said, I used creative for the first time, and it made such a huge difference in the process. I think the server right now, the world will only get better because I will start to plan things in creative, like from here on out, from every build I'll do. I think that will develop so much of my abilities. But sometimes this game is just about finding ideas and finding concepts you want to explore. I really like the bees because there are mobs that actually they give so much life and movement to the game. I talked about life and movement a lot of the times in my last video, in the world tour. But the thing is, other mobs, they have to be kind of you have to put fences. You cannot let them leave the room or anything like that because they can run away. But with bees, you have a mob that can go outside his habitat and go back. You don't have to control anything they do. It's like happy guests, you know? Like happy guests, they add so much to the game because they just roam around. And I wish other mobs did that too. So yeah, I guess that's it. I really hope you liked the build. I really hope you liked this episode. And I'll see you on the next one. I am anxious to do the other videos. I am really excited to build all the things that I'm thinking about. So yes, thanks for watching.